Hello, I want to talk about 3 woke shows that I, as a Christian nationalist, enjoy. Yeah, I probably because there's not many choices out there, and I've tried PureFlix, and I just can't do I can't do it. This is the show I want as a Christian nationalist, where check out play these games, young people, and start writing scripts based on the games you play. Off of this, start writing scripts, start developing them, start doing animations, and you can take Christians where the Christians are evangelizing and going out and planting churches and creating civilizations, and whether it's the wastelands, whether it's in space on planets, or whether you're recreating sort of 6th, 7th century Italy or medieval Europe, where the church, we were planting churches everywhere and we were civilizing the world. The West is replete with churches everywhere on every corner in every village. That is why we all love the West. That is why Rosie O'Donnell moved to Ireland and not to any African or South American or Asian country, because there are Christians there, but they're swaddled in paganism, and communism and atheism. We need shows that actually the evangelism church planning is being erased from our culture, from our entertainment, from our storytelling. And that is what creates our freedom. That is the reason we have freedom right now in this country, is because of the evangelism and church planning. Obviously the atheists are going to deny that, and so is Hollywood and everyone else. And sadly, PureFlix is denying that. It is absolutely the truth. Churches are on every corner. Cathedrals are in every city in Europe. Why? How did they get there? Why are we ignoring that? Why does the left and the atheists get to tell those stories the way they want, which is not about evangelism and church planning, but about corruption and whatever, when the truth of the matter is that it's all about evangelism and church planning and growing the civilization? Why are not universities and hospitals and orphanages, why don't they depict how those were built? And how they did not exist for nearly 3,000 years, because the paganism did not create those things. All the hospitals and orphanages and universities that were created, the Middle Ages and on, were invented by and created by Christians. Today in Asia, there are the only places a prostitute with HIV can go is to a convent, to Christian orphanages. It's the only place they can go. I mean, there might be some state stuff now, but no one did it except for the Christians. So anyway, why don't we have those kind of stories? And we can make them adventurous and fun, and these will help you if you are a Christian and you are a young person and want to write stories on books, create series. Please, I'm begging you to, because I don't want to keep watching these shows. I want to watch shows about evangelism and church planning and historical or in funny, goofy ways. My Christians in Space series here on my YouTube channel is that, and it's proving to the RPG culture and to me and my friend and the fellowship that we have, that it is totally awesome, totally doable, and way better. I mean, the way I played and the way I don't edit it and all that is goofy and simpleton, but so are all the other RPGs. But ours proves, though, that you can have a storyline that is about adventure, spacefaring adventure, yet evangelism and church planning, which is the epitome of. It's like in paganism, you want to, you're the hero because you give them a fish, but in Christianity, we teach them how to fish. The church and evangelism is about teaching each village to teach them how to fish, teach them how to be brave, compassionate, chivalry, family, taking care of each other, helping each other, charity. Charity is what killed paganism. Like when I'm reading about Rome and stuff, one of the dictators, Caesar's, was writing how he was frustrated because the pagan temples had all fallen into disarray because all the priests were basically transvestites going to the bars and getting drunk and being manipulators. And so the people fled the pagan temples for the Christians' churches, because the churches were all about helping each other and compassion. I didn't mean to go off on that rant, but that is absolutely what we're missing. In entertainment, I'm sitting, PureFlix, for crying out loud, stop with the I need Jesus and I need a Jesus moment, and get to the core of Christianity, which is the commission. in the shows. And I know I've heard directly from someone there when I was pitching mine that all they're looking for is they're not looking for evangelism church planting shows. They don't want that. They only want to. They have a formula, and they only want you to do that formula, and it sucks. And so that's why I don't have PureFlix. I'm just like, God damn, you know. Anyway, so the shows that I like that are woke and I'm enjoying, but they're the good kind of woke in this sense. They're definitely left wing. Ben Stiller is sort of the producer director, and he's obviously Kamala. He's a white man for Kamala and wished he had black friends, something like that. Anyway, this show is really cool because it's very woke and left, but it really shines a light on them, not on us. And that's the thing about a true show. A really good show or story will shine a light on yourselves and what you know, not you preaching about what others do, right? Now, I'm a Christian. I used to be pagan, so I can do both. I used to be an atheist, pagan, whatever. So paganism is you believe you can save yourself. You're a good person. You can make do with your good works. You can decide you're a good person. That's paganism. Paganism is not just about the Wiccans or the Druids. It's about I can save myself, whatever it is. I'm in Islam, I can do the sacraments and kill unbelievers. In atheism, I'm a good person. In Hinduism, I need to do this and offer this and offer this and offer that. That's paganism. And Jews, I love Jews, and I know they're the chosen people, but they fell into the I do this and do this and do this. You know, Catholicism, I love you Catholics. I don't question your faith, but the church is all about you doing specific things. Go to confession, do this, do that. And as a Calvinist Christian, I am saved, period. And the things that I'm doing because I want to, or because I love the Lord. I don't have to do anything. I'm already saved. And I just have, I guess I realize that now. And so I'm joyful. And now I just want to do things for the Lord. I'm already saved because God has already made me to be saved. Kind of a thing. Anyway, I didn't mean to go into that either, but that's like, yeah. Anyway, Severance. Severance is about slavery. It's about slavery because what happens is people, you basically go to this job where they put a chip in your brain, and then when you go down the elevator into your work, your memory's erased, and so the person now working for 8 hours is not you. They have it's like amnesia. They have the basic understanding of the world, but they don't know who they are personally, which is a really fascinating part of amnesia. But the person in the job now doesn't know who his real person is out in the real world. So the person in the job becomes a whole unique person, but really a slave, because they awaken in the elevator to go do this job in this underground bunker at this corporation. It's like Apple Corporation. And then when they go back in the elevator, they basically wake up the next day in the elevator coming to work again. And their real person, dressed them and whatever. And so the real person outside doesn't know what's going on in this place. And so what this story is about then is about these workers all in here. He's a normal person. He's like he's their master. So they did a black guy, but he does a really good job. I like his acting in this. He's really good. They got some heavy hitters here with that guy. I forgot. I know his name, but I just right now my brain's like can only do so much. And then of course this guy. Oh my gosh! Of course I know his. Anyway, when I do YouTube videos, I only have 512K RAM, so I can only remember so much trivia. But these guys are all. This is I don't know what dramatic moment this is, but it's a very mundane, boring, office type of work, and they're all yippee yapping. And this is the corporation that he walks into, and he walks in as the normal guy, and then goes in and. So it's all about, and then he's putting on his stuff, and then he goes in, to the elevator and goes down, and then becomes this switches into, and it becomes the slave, and it's about slavery, really. So, and pagans love slavery. If you think about it, they really do. They've always had slavery. They have slavery today with the illegal aliens in America. They believe in centralized government. Government centralized is slavery because they won't let you have any freedoms, right? They want to tell you what light bulbs to have, what kind of car you can drive, right? So they always gravitate towards tyranny. When the serpent told Eve at the beginning, don't believe in God, she says, oh, we can do anything we want, but we can't eat from this one tree. God was giving them the freedom of choice. us the freedom of choice. We can do whatever we want, but we can't do one thing. That's what the apple fruit from the tree of knowledge of good and evil is. Let me give another analogy. If you go to Disneyland, you can go to Disneyland. You're in Disneyland, right? You get everything you want. Disneyland, they got the food. They'll have you a hotel room and shower and food, everything. You just can't leave. Can't leave. What kind of freedom or joy of Disneyland is that? That's how simple the Garden of is, and how simple the Bible is telling you a truth, and you just don't see it. God created Adam and Eve, put them in the garden, and he gave them everything they wanted, but they just can't do one thing, which is exit. So he said, you have an exit. He gave them an exit if they wanted to exit from God, leave God. And so they followed the serpent. The serpent was just a way of manipulating them and giving them this option and showing them, here is what evil is. This is evil. Don't deny God's word. Be your own God. That's what the serpent told her. You don't have to believe him. You can eat from the fruit and know good and evil for yourself. That's what we do now. We want freedom. We want to go out and explore and experience sin and evil. And when we love that, we become tyrants. We want to control each other. Okay. That's what the left is. So God has already told us from the very beginning what's going to happen. If you look at every Democrat, they want to control your life. Every left person wants to get angry. Now, they want to burn up Teslas and burn up, all these places and attack us violently. They want to throw oil or orange paint on things and destroy what you have, because that's their way of being a tyrant. They don't want to just talk to you. They want to destroy what you have physically. That way they show the power they have over you. They want to destroy your stuff. So what I'm saying to the left is don't do that. I dare you. I challenge you to not do that. Not to lord yourself over Christians or over freedom-loving people who want their own lives, who want to have their own guns to protect their property, who want to have freedom of speech and be able to say you should not be gay, you should deconvert from gayness. The freedom to do that is what we want. We want to be able to, and you can have the freedom to do what you want. I'm a Christian nationalist, by the way. I want you to have the freedom to make shows like this or do whatever you want. I just don't want you to have the freedom or the tyranny to tell me what I can and can't do. And there's where the problem lies, right? And it happens over and over. Now you say, well, Christians were oppressive. We're oppressive against child pornography. We're oppressive against lots of sins, for sure. Yeah. We don't want you to do certain things. Yeah, we do want to censor things in the sense of like horrible, pornographic, manipulative, sexual exploitive against children, against women who can become victims. Men are predators. We Christians know that. We know that in our own church, men are predators. And so we protect women with extra laws and stuff, and marriage laws and stuff. The Old Testament laws about women's slavery was about protecting them. It wasn't about keeping them slaves. It was about realizing that there was a bunch of slave women and they had to do something to protect them. Anyway, and because of that, they're like, aha, see, you like slavery. So in this show, I just really enjoy it. It's very like, they do a lot of, I really like the scenes where it's all kind of boring, but there's this under threat of the slavery of I'm stuck here. I don't have anything but this work, and that the underlying fear. And then this guy's all, he talks in a very like baby voice talk with them and stuff. So it's a really good show in that sense. And so I enjoy it. I'm up to whatever the latest is. I mean, if they're gonna have gay stuff in it, which I say whenever there's gay stuff, I don't want to watch it. If I know it's sort of a bubble of left-wing wokeism, then I accept that they're gonna throw in gay stuff. I accept it. Like this character becomes gay, or sort of slowly evolves into a gay character with what's his name. And it's a bummer that they made what's his name gay in this show, but he's older now, so whatever. Oh my gosh, what's the guy's name? The cool dude. Anyway, so the show's interesting. Here's the real guy on the outside, and all this weird stuff's happening. I did not know this is Patricia Arquette. This took me a while to realize it. It's like, dang. And she's like my age. So I'm kind of surprised. Anyway, it's very creepy. Apple, or the companies like Apple, like the sort of backstory stuff. Anyway, very good show. I enjoy it. It's creepy. Here's another thing. They don't really do any snipes on the right. They don't like blame the right. They don't blame Christians for this. They don't go after Christians. So I really appreciate that aspect of it. There's no sort of they're in their own little bubble of self-deprecation, which I appreciate. So I'm trying to just get like a pause here or whatever. Anyway, these are the characters or whatever. Okay, anyway, so there's that. Good, enjoyable show. Doesn't snipe at Jesus or anything like that. I think there is some blasphemy in it. It's like, that's one thing I definitely don't like about these shows is they blaspheme Jesus Christ, but there's no actual Jesus Christ in it. I mean, why don't they blaspheme other gods like Allah? Why don't you guys blaspheme Muhammad or Allah? Blaspheme, I don't know, Moses or whatever. Blaspheme the Holocaust. That would be, whatever you believe is the most insulting thing to your faith or religion, like the Holocaust denial. Why don't you use that in the show, and blaspheme Allah, and then I will accept that you believe in blasphemy. Like, blasphemy is not a big deal. I will accept that. But if you just blaspheme Jesus Christ, then I think that you're just coming after Jesus Christ, and that's very annoying. I don't know. I can't. I would like to. As a Christian, I should yell about it more or not watch the shows. It's just so prevalent. I'm just going to keep saying, if you're going to blaspheme Jesus Christ, then include Allah. Be equal. Include Allah, blaspheme him, Muhammad, and also blaspheme the denial of the Holocaust. Like, put that in there, because that's to me like the anti-Semitic thing, I guess. Whatever the insulting thing is to you guys, to Ben Stiller, I do that. So that's why blasphemy could be. You could prove that your blasphemy is actually, it's not a big deal to you. All right, the other show, Silo, I've been watching and enjoying. Hopefully it'll be all right. Silo is about a future, she's sort of an engineer they're in a silo. They don't know about the past. They don't know what, so this is kind of a post-apocalyptic thing. They're living in this silo and sort of in prison there, and in a little society. It's sort of controlled, and everything's recycled, and he's like the leader and got to control it all. And they're having a little celebration here about lanterns. Here's the one thing I really like about it is that there's a lot of black characters in it, and that's cool, because what I love about it is they show the black characters all just like white people. They all have their own issues. They all, there's good and bad ones, or whatever. They're all fighting each other, just like, and they're fighting the white people. Everyone is against everybody, kind of a thing. So that's what I like. I like that they're not picking and choosing, based on race, who's good or bad in this. And it makes sense. And the setting makes sense that their black and whites are all mixed, right? I don't want them to put black characters into white characters that are traditionally white. I want black people or black characters to be in roles that are either new or African or whatever. I want it to make sense. If it's medieval history and it's about a fantasy medieval world that is based off of European fantasy, they should all be primarily white. And if there's blacks, it should be about them coming from a foreign land. They shouldn't just replace the elves or the dwarves with black people. I don't like that. I mean, if it's a fantasy like if original fantasy, that's fine. Avatar or whatever, some original fantasy thing. Well, Avatar is sci-fi, but something completely original that doesn't have to do with medieval fantasy, that tradition, then that's fine. They can obviously create whatever races they want in it. But I don't like that when you, like, Lord of the Rings is traditionally based off of a European fantasy. Keep it that way. So Silo is great. I love all the different characters. Obviously, they have a lesbian group character. But here's the thing about if you're going to put gay characters in there, make them just as goofy and dumb and retarded as hetero characters. Don't put them above, or more, make them more brilliant or special. If you're going to make the gay characters in it so cool that I can tell you're promoting it, I definitely don't want to watch the show. Like Last of Us, I can't stand. And I don't think I'm going to watch the second season. Well, first off, it only had one action scene in eight shows. Oh, it was anti-Christian. It had a whole episode dogging Christianity, pretending it's a violent cannibalistic commune, which is ridiculous. And then they showed the communist, in Last of Us, they showed the successful community as we're communist. We're communist. And that one was the successful community. That was total bullshit. A communist community would be oppressive and controlling and force everyone to do exactly what they wanted. A Christian community would be a successful building. That's what Europe was. It was a bunch of churches planting it everywhere and creating these really productive, powerful, successful. Here's how successful the churches were in Europe. Starting from 600 AD, 6th century, people became pilgrims at such a massive population of them, massive numbers. They started going to Israel and to Jerusalem to see where Jesus was. It became so huge that now, in order to become a pilgrim, you have to take a year or two off from your work. That's how wealthy the Christians were becoming and successful. Millions, hundreds of thousands, I guess, back then, could afford to take off a year and financially, and these were regular people, go and take literally a vacation, Christian pilgrimage to Israel. That become such a big moneymaker and problem for the Muslims in Israel and Jerusalem that they started, oppressing them and stealing from them and destroying them. And that's why the Crusades started. Well, that was one reason why. But so to get back to this, I hate shows that like Last of Us that do that. They put Christianity into this ridiculous state where that's never been the case historically. Historically, Christianity has built up the world, the West, the freedom, the riches. I mean, I know, yes, I understand. Many Christians are corrupt or whatever. The Holy Roman Empire was a weird wacko thing. I get it. We're all sinners. Not one of us. No, not one of us is good. So Christianity already knows that we are corruptible sinners. Jesus said it. So yes, even in Christianity, we are. Atheists say, "Oh, people are relatively good." Not true. Anyway, I'm going off on tangents. So this is a good show. I actually like it. There's again no snipes at Christianity here, no snipes at Trump or the West or whatever. It's just a show. A pretty good show. I mean, there's no Christianity in it in the sense of they don't know the history of the past. And obviously, this is like my Christians in Space, because it really seems like whoever built these silos erased all Christianity. So these people don't even know Christianity. So this is like a perfect setting for Apostles of the Epoch or Christians in Space. Actually, in my game, you could actually have a setting like this where you Christians come in and find these people in a silo on some planet and help that, give them the faith, but they'll probably be violently against you because that's how pagans are. But this is a totally like, so this show does feed into my need for story, for Apostles of the Epoch and Christians in Space. So I do enjoy this show. It's not truly the kind of show I want, but I got to take what I can get, All right. Here's one that I think I'm probably sinning. I think this is worse than me going to goth clubs here in Hollywood. Okay. This show is Hacks. It's on Max. And I just wanted to watch something. So this show is about the character's name is Deborah Vance. And what's funny is this actress, I'm like, she looks familiar, but then I don't know her. But then when I go back and look at her IMDb, it's like, oh yeah, wow, she is like a TV legend that I just didn't know much about. Very under the radar, yet been in all these shows and stuff. This guy's the producer, which is funny because I didn't know, because he plays such a goofy agent, Hollywood agent. He's like, him and his wife are the ones that created the show, I think. But so she's like this rich, comedian actress who has this Las Vegas mansion, whatever. And then of course she's in her failing career, and then so she's like this. She's a total like woke writer in Hollywood. The typical woke writers that you and I, or the libertarian YouTubers are fighting against. She plays that kind of character, and she's a semi-lesbian bi. So this show has a lot of gay characters, a lot of lesbian bi stuff, and it kind of and I get it, because this is a woke bubble. This show is about a woke bubble. It is I like that it's self-deprecating too. I appreciate that they don't attack right-wingers and Christians. Here's a funny thing. The characters do dog right-wingers or Republicans in the show, but it's from their dumb perspective. So it's good. It's a good way of doing it. See, as a Christian nationalist, I'm a Christian nationalist. As a Christian nationalist, I believe in freedom of speech. I believe that these characters, these writers and producers can write shows, and I appreciate them self-deprecatingly doing it. If they're going to preach to me how awesome the left is, then I am not interested in the show. I mean, maybe the left is definitely interested in shows like that, where they create their false premise of heroics, and then they preach to the left how they're, because you'll see that in a lot of shows. Like I think The West Wing did that. and Will and Grace did that, where they created this false premise of their neatness and their superiority, and showed how dumb the Christians and right wingers are, and then the left took those as anthems for them, to believe in, which is so pathetic. I like shows, right or left, that are self-deprecating, that undermine their own belligerency, including my own. You see, I'm very belligerent on here, but you can see I'm admitting it, and a self-awareness kind of a thing. I babble on, I drink coffee, I don't edit, blah blah blah. So I get terrible views, which is fine. I'm just enjoying myself. But this character, very likable because of how dumb and she portrays herself, and goofy. This guy's, he does a great job. His comedicness. He's funny, along with his assistant, who I looked up, and so he has this hilarious assistant. I want to find her. She's got great timing, comedic timing, and of course she's a lesbian. Where is she? Oh, this is a major gay character here, and they show too much of him with his gayness, but again, it's very self-deprecating. It shows kind of the stupidity. Oh, where is she? Where is she? Come on, pop up in the thing. Yeah, see gay stuff here. She's hilarious. She's a lesbian stand-up comedian. She's a stand-up comedian, the main actress. He's a writer, but she's hilarious. She cracks me up. Her facial stuff, and all that is just very I gotta hand it to her. As a Christian nationalist, I gotta hand it to her. She's funny. She's got the thing. I like that they do this like history of the character. Like she's all this VHS tape. She did all these shows. She almost had her own Johnny Carson show, but it failed. Didn't get. She was on Time magazine, but now she's all burnt out woman. So that's really interesting and funny, and it's a really good show. I enjoyed that sense. It is very sinning. Everything they do, they're in that sort of Jeremiah or Judges world where they're all doing whatever they want and believe whatever they want, and they get nuggets of hope through it, kind of a thing. And there's no Christianity obviously in it. It's in the real world today, modern day, so there's Christians, but they obviously avoid them. There was a little bit of, they do mention God and prayer in kind of a semi-positive way, but obviously they're all sinners and doing their stuff, but they kind of, they don't attack God. They don't like attack Christians or God outright. The character is sort of, and that's okay with me. That's okay. I don't mind if the left in their own bubble says things through the characters, as long as it's not preaching, and as long as it's not, it's showing their weaknesses more than them attacking the Republicans or the right. It's showing their own, I'm not going to buy that because it's Republican. It shows them the kind of being silly and stupid in their attack on the right, which is fine. So I enjoy these shows as a right-wing Christian nationalist. I am an extreme right wing Christian nationalist, but I did come from the atheist world. I live here in Hollywood and go to goth clubs once in a while. Sort of. I'm getting old and tiring though. But and I'm drinking a lot less. I'm noticing that too. I just don't want to drink anymore. So, but those are the shows I kind of enjoy: Silo, Hacks, Severance. As far as I mean, if you younger Christians could make shows like this, please, I would. Please, and I'm reading more now too, actually. So I'm reading more now too. So there's that. I just can't find any Christian shows. I want to watch that Homestead on, and I'm thinking about maybe doing Angel Studios, doing they have a membership now. I'm thinking about doing that and watching Homestead because I kind of want to see a Homestead and see how that goes, but I haven't jumped on it yet. I think they only have one movie. I don't think they have a series yet, or they're turning it into a series. And I did want to go watch it in the theaters, but it was far and only had a weird time here in Hollywood. In Hollywood, they don't. It's hard. They don't bring the Christian movies around here, like right in Hollywood. You have to go a little bit further out to get to them. Not that far, but still. But I kind of noticed that about that. I should get out and walk around and say gay is a sin or something, on a sign, and Democrats are evil. I don't know. I should just walk around with just a stick, because you don't really have freedom of speech here. You really don't, because it's so left wing, so Democrat. You will get attacked physically. I'm pretty sure. If I walked around West Hollywood with a sign that said gay is sinful or a sin, I kind of think, but and the main reason I don't do it, is because as a Christian, when you do things like that, evangelism, especially on the streets, you should have a fellowship that does it, not just you alone. You shouldn't be a loner doing stuff like that. So that's why I'm doing YouTube and doing this. You should have a group, and I just don't have a hardcore group at my church. My church is a little off the, a little further away. I don't like go there often. And then again, if I did do something, I should do it through my church, and my church doesn't do that. They focus on church planning, pastors and church planning. So I should, think about doing more for them. But I'm doing this. This is my sort of holy Lord, my for the Lord type of thing. And I have a fellowship. I have a game today. Christian Space. We got our third season here. So we're going fun, strong, I guess. All right. So those are the shows I like. Woke shows, Game of Life. I hope some of you younger people, if anyone's watching this, can start creating games with these and start creating stories with it. Your own stories, your own books, comics, graphic novels, whatever. Get it going and build that up and create shows, TV shows. Use AI. I don't care, whatever. But we need shows about evangelism and church planning, plus adventure. So my channel is all about sort of preaching that for hopefully for Christians to do. All right, the Game of Life, everybody. Roll holy dice.